Takes up about 14 minutes in its full length. Like any great epic song, it's kind of long. Tells a story or two. This is the first part of the story. The story that I'm about to tell is about the fireproof Tangiers Hotel on the south side of Chicago, 1995. I was a pilot then, trying to get some rest, but the local talent were doing their best to see who among us might not retire alive. The couple in the room next to me were procreating vigorously, with the wall shaking, waking me up, and I couldn't sleep. Decided I'd go just across the street to Pindo's Family Diner to eat, when around the corner came half the cops in town. I didn't mention these are Chicago cops, but I did say it was Chicago. Big guys on the average, but the hats are always too small. They have that little checkered thing around the brim. I always have that little flag of Chicago on their shoulder. It's kind of weird. Well, they rolled up to me and wanted ID. I told them, guys, I'm just here to eat, and I always leave my wallet in the hotel room. When I reached back to show them my hotel key, I looked up and they're pointing 6 guns at me. By that I mean 4 Glocks and 2 45s. So I'm out there in the parking lot, talking down the Chicago cops for damn near an hour till they let me go on my way. I was so glad just to be alive. All I could eat was a pile of fries, left a 20 on the table and headed back the other way. There was a full moon rising as I crossed the street. I see 5 guys you don't want to meet in baggy pants and red sneakers, standing where I needed to be. So I walked up and said, hey, you got a light? And had a great that we're all out of jail tonight. We smoked half a pack of cigarettes. I headed back the other way again. There was a couple in a Lincoln in the parking lot. They were giving it all they got, fogging up the windows, but the little footprints were clear. I only went out to get something to eat. I wasn't looking for another front row seat for Sodom and Gomorrah. Here come the cops again. Well, she bailed out and took off running. He fired up the Lincoln and gave it the gun, cutting donuts around me in reverse, smoking all 4 tires. Now the cops just stood and watched the scene, but then the best piece of driving you've ever seen, he crashed backwards to the alley through a room full of washing machines. They're out there in the parking lot, they were running around like Chicago cops, yelling on the radio, getting in each other's way. When she walks up and says, hey, do you want a date? And I had to say, no, it's a little late for dinner and a movie, but thanks a lot anyway. About the time she got to the street, here comes that Lincoln with fold-down seats, and she jumped through the window, Dukes of Hazzard style. Well, they were gone like a rocket towards Cicero. Where they ended up, nobody knows, but I was glad to have them and that Lincoln out of my life. Yeah, the cops made noise till 4:45. I was laying there awake, glad to be alive, when this couple in the next room started up a whole new chorus. I shook a lamp off the table. After half an hour, I got myself up, shaved and showered, thinking uniform on, make me I could sleep on the plane. Come back again next week to do it all again. That's not really what I came to talk about. The song's really about sedition. That's kind of a reach, but being in the wrong place at the wrong time is not the same as being in the wrong place and you plan to be there. If you plan to go somewhere and find yourself in the wrong place, you're probably doing the wrong thing at the same time. In my experience, it's best not to combine that with a federal offense. I'll tell you all about the time that I was captain of an airplane. We had a fire warning in the forward lavatory. Not a big deal. Usually if somebody lights a cigarette there, and it'll start a fire that goes up the wall into the ceiling and kills everybody. But aside from that, it's not that big a deal because it happens slowly. It's not really my job to take care of that sort of thing. But there were so many people on the airplane. All of them smoking. None of them were supposed to. But but they all did. Flight attendants were all busy trying to quell a riot in the back of the airplane. So it fell to me to go up there and see what's going on with that forward laboratory smoke alarm, which had turned into a fire warning. So I did. The door was locked. I used my fountain pen to open it. That's not hard to do. It flips right open. You need to know that. So I yanked the door open, and to my surprise, there's this young lady in there. She's probably about 22, with a Penthouse magazine figure, holding her little black dress in both hands over her head to cover up the smoke alarm. The good part is she had about a half a joint in her mouth. And that's all she had on, other than kind of a smile. I had to say, young lady, when you're committing a federal offense, do not ever do it without your clothes on. So I will say this about the seditionists that attacked our Capitol building, my Capitol building. They had their clothes on. And that's no defense. But thanks for being with us, everybody. I hope you've had a great time. Hope you've had as much fun as I have. It's been great, and we'll see you again next week.